Pounders, it's Thursday. Let's start off with a little bit of good news, please. Tyreek Hill back at practice. Seems like he's cutting at the same high intensity. That's just really good news. So if you were drafting a falling Tyreek Hill, claps to you. Claps to you. Same thing with Mostert. We're going to be looking at just how far these players are falling and just really trying to get good values on these Q tags. I think that's so important midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, when we're drafting, even Thursday, is just getting that advantage on the Q tag players. So let's actually pull up a Dawg Bowl real quick because I know this can take a minute to fill. Oh, man. So lucky. So lucky. One spot and we're full. Oh, too good. Too good to me. Let's jump into, of course, we're not even on the screen. We're so far back. Let's jump into a second one, and that one's waiting for 7 people. Perfect. 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 We're at 12. Honestly, Socrates, this name's familiar. Obviously, Crash Rich is in every single draft. Same thing with EDN 3. I'm not recognizing the rest of these names. It's not like the typical sickos. This is perfect. Love this. Love this. Might have got lucky. If you guys are new to the channel, drop a sub, get the dub, and likes are always welcome. Likes are always welcome. 12 spot. I don't think I've actually drafted from the 12 spot yet, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm going to say it's probably a good thing because 12 looks pretty gross. We did get a Lamar combo yesterday at a Lamar-Mark Andrews combo at pick 8, where Mark Andrews fell to 17, which is just unreal. People are too good to me sometimes. Yeah, so Tyreek Hill is going at 1 here. So clearly, Lazy Kid's updated with the news that he's back. Strong conviction. I think you can have a strong conviction about Hill at 1 just because of how it just falls off, that receiver. It really does. Hill, Brown, Chase, Lamb, and we have probably a couple tiers in there. Probably Hill alone against the Pats, an injured secondary. Chase, Cup, Brown, and then Lamb probably in his own tier, and then Ayuk, Puka, Waddle. Oh, I have my own. I set up my own ranking, so that's why this looks a little funky. I like that more for battle royales than I do for Dawg Bowls. And there are some things that I need to adjust, like tight end. Ingram should be above Schultz, probably in front of Waller. A couple things I have to adjust on this. Maybe I'll do that real quick on a separate page so it updates. I usually don't make rankings. We're going to give it a shot this week. And it's so deep at RB that you can't just go off your rankings because you're just going to end up with too many similar teams. If you have that many hot takes, sure, that could be a good thing. Like Sacrilegious, like he had a lot of the same teams and he was right that week. And when you're right that week and you're drafting the same way, that's how you spike multiple teams into, the top. But on a week that you're wrong, you also pay the consequence. ETN here at 12 would be just beautiful. And as you can see, we were aggressively targeting Mostert. And I know his ADP's fallen, and I know we can get him later, so we have been pushing him off. I really like this combo to start. Or like Lamb. That's probably going to be a little more chalky. These are both gonna be chalky stars, to be honest. It doesn't really matter which way we go. We'll double tap RB here. I do like the idea of bringing in Lamb again because of that tier break off at receiver. But after like Lamb's off the board, there are a lot of players that you can really bunch into that same tier. So I don't mind grabbing 2 players from there, to be honest. Plus, Lamb really hasn't been showing any ceiling games with Dak. Great floor, high floor, ceiling for spiking into big tournaments. I'm probably gonna lean Brees Hall every time. Not gonna lie, over Lamb. Just my thoughts on that. Logan, what's up? Charles, welcome to the live stream. J Dubs in the house. Charles says, wonder if Mac Jones says the same. Just falls off from the opposite. Yeah, opponent wide receiver stars. Dude, Mac's in trouble, man. Mac's in trouble. Honestly, I said before, like, stop winning games. I want that high draft pick. I don't want to suffer for years and years. And of course, we beat Buffalo. Come on, man. Like, yeah, it feels good to beat Buffalo. Years of pain. Years of pain. Hawk at 18. There is a chance that Hawk misses time. Let's see if there's a Deshaun Watson update. Yeah, he's ruled out. So Amari Cooper, again, not going to be that sexy of a pick. Christian Watson, though, been mixing in some C-Watt, who gets drafted super late in these. So fourth round C-Watt is where we would have to take him if we want him on this team. I don't think we're getting him at 60. And again, that's just a ceiling play against a bad secondary. You can go, like, Love is definitely in play in these as well. Purdy doesn't look like he's going to be playing. Now, I'm not convinced that that's really a terrible thing. Like Sam Darnold coming in, I think he's going to be able to run this offense just fine. I don't think Kittle's going to suffer. I don't think Ayuk's going to suffer. With Debo out, the offense does become more condensed. So I actually like the idea of bringing in Kittle. I have him ranked ahead of Goddard. I think that's it. Yeah, I have him just ahead of Goddard. I want to be overweight on Kittle this week. Spike week tight end, where you could see another big week from Kelsey, Andrews. They have really good matchups. So Kittle goes at 24 with Tyreek Hill and Bijan. Dude, Bijan kind of makes me nervous. It's not Bijan. It's Arthur Smith in his comments about, like, strictly about fantasy football. He's like, I don't care about your fantasy football. It's like, why would you even say that? We know that. But he's like, if I want to play like CPAT here, I'm going to play CPAT here. He's like, and he's basically threatening that he was going to play Bijan less due to the fantasy football people tweeting at him, which is just, it's not right. Yeah, these are great bringbacks against Miami for sure. Been avoiding that Cleveland-Seattle game. Yeah, no, really, I have been too. I think Tyreek Hill update said he'll play week 8. That's huge because I have so many Tyreek Hill shares. Like, and we were getting him at 5 yesterday a lot in Battle Royales. Like DK Metcalf goes so late. And if he doesn't play, it's a free pick swap to Tyler Lockett, basically, or to JSN. So I do like the idea of bringing in a little bit of DK Metcalf onto these rosters because I don't think he even goes drafted. It's a free pick swap. Like, I don't think drafters really know how to utilize that option. Like, it's still DK. Yeah, Cleveland has a great secondary, but K-Walk dealing with the calf issue. It might be enough for me to go Henry over K-Walk. maybe even Kareem Hunt over K-Walk. Like in that matchup, I do like the idea of drafting Kareem Hunt, top 3 O-line in Cleveland, top 5 O-line. They want to run the ball, especially if they don't have Deshaun. Pickens would be a miracle here for a bring back. Perfect. Burrow. So we can go Waller would be a bring back, but again, like this isn't new news. Like this doesn't make me want to fade Darren Waller. We've known this, that he's been dealing with this whole time. We're gonna bring in Giorgio, and I think we might go just Waller for the bring back. I don't love the idea of going ETN and Trevor Lawrence. ETN getting in the end zone 2 times each of the last 3 games, none of them through the air. It's between Darren Waller and TT for me. Waller it is. We let the computer decide there. So we get 2 little mini stacks here. We will have to figure out a QB situation, and that's super easy. Like last round, typically you can go, and we picked 12 too, so it does give us the advantage picking in this last round where Dubes is there. See what. We'll see if he falls. We'll see what kind of sharp room we're in. And let me make sure that other draft didn't fill. 10 out of 12 for that other draft. Perfect timing. Let's go. We're going to be able to get in a few of these. This is perfect. Gus Edwards, Kirk, Derrick Henry. I don't know if I can draft Gus Edwards ahead of Henry, but he's getting the short yardage. He is getting the goal line. He caught a ball. He brought a reception for 80 yards last game. Like, I don't think that's going to happen every game. It's going a little early. Pick swap is a game in itself. It's so true. It's so true. If Hawk doesn't play, would you consider some Osborne? I don't necessarily like. I'm not sure if it really gives Osborne a huge tick. We can mix Osborne in just because he's going undrafted. I don't think that's a bad idea, but Addison is like the clear number 1 there. So, yeah, C-Watt's been going super late. We'll see if we can get C-Watt for this team. If not, I don't know if TT really falls that far, and he's gone. This would be ideal. This would definitely be ideal. Could go Russ with Sutton, which they played KC a couple weeks back, and it's really hard to take this game into consideration. 95 yards, 2 picks, just obviously a gross game from Russ. You would think he would have a bounce back game against the same team. Brock Purdy, yeah. Placed in concussion protocol super late in the week. I think it happened on a tush push play. There goes C-Watt. Oh, man, J-Dubs, my man. Bringing up the good news. Juwan Johnson back at practice. My best ball shares are just screaming for some Juwan Johnson right now. They're screaming. We could go Dubes with Love if we want to. I'm not completely opposed to doing this. Dubes is still a red zone target for Love. And Musgrave is dealing with a little injury. I don't know. Yeah, he's still not practicing with that ankle injury. Little naked T-Law. He could bring in. No, Ingram's gone. Ingram went at 43. Nice. Waiting on one person. If you want to join us in the next Dog Bowl draft, The promo is the top 2K out of 5,200 get their money back. They get their $25 back in bonus cash, underdog bonus cash. So you can use it for tournaments. You can use it for pick'ems. You just can't withdraw it. And you need 10 teams. You need to do at least 10 of these. So 250. If you invest 250, basically it's around just under 40% chance to get your money back. So it does make the contest a little cheaper if you look at it in that light. So one more person for that dog bowl contest if you want to join us. It looks like as long as Krissa doesn't go Love here. Love is secured. We don't have the bring back in KC, but honestly, I don't think that's a huge deal. He goes Josh. Okay. They go Josh Downs. Yeah, I think this is just a double click with Love. This could just be really, you have a couple options in this spot too. Like you can go Russ, you can go Judy, you can go Sutton. So like there's a couple back stacks that you can do at the end of these drafts, which feel pretty good. But yeah, no Musgrave should give Dubes a little boost. More so than Watson. Oh my god. I'm so with this. I'm so with this. But when he was healthy, it was pretty gross. Like the usage for tight ends was very gross in New Orleans. So Juwan Johnson, I've sort of just lost I've lost hope for those shares, to be honest. Just because the way they're using tight ends. All right, for this one, we get the 5 spot. JGFC in the house, sacrilegious right next to us. Hockey hooligans always grinding these D's. Crash Rich, EDN threes in every single one. All right. This is probably a little more sharp room. See, Justin Fields didn't practice again today, and not a huge surprise. Just get the updates on the phone as we go. 5 spot. Honestly, after the top 3, I have a tier break. I like AJ Brown, then Cup. So we'll see what comes to us. AJ Brown falls to us. That'd be nice. AJ Brown absolutely torched Washington a few weeks back. Let me pull up. Absolutely torched them. 9 catches, 13 targets, 175 yards, and 2 titties. Goddamn. That game went into OT too. Washington's like secretly giving Philly a hard time, even last season. Pretty sure they gave them their first loss and they ran the ball like 52 times. Terry McLaurin is a sneaky bring back in that Philly game. Terry McLaurin has a good history against Philly. Yeah, this is just pretty standard. Those 3 really shouldn't fall outside of the top 3, in my opinion. I do have Lamar aggressively ranked on here. Okay, sweet. We get Brown at 5. Slim shot that we get Jalen Hurts. Oh, especially after that tag. The not listed on the injury report. We've got him at 16, at 17 a couple times this week. And again, just really taking advantage of like Monday, Tuesday, questionable like injuries. He's got a little banged up. Knee injury. Does he rush less? Obviously, the worry for Jalen Hurts, but JGFC starting off with Mahomes. Chase going right after AJ Brown. Yeah. Lamar Jackson at 8, Jalen Hurts at 9. If Jalen Hurts isn't rushing as much, which I don't think. I think he's gonna be fine. AJ Brown, my question is, if AJ Brown gets there, right, has a huge game, do you need Jalen Hurts at that same time? The amount of times he's getting tush pushed into the end zone? Maybe. Maybe. Let's see what Jalen Hurts did against Washington. 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, 34 yards on the ground, no rushing titty. ETN. Wow, Puka actually going super early in this. Tony Pollard and Puka. That could just be, man, I don't know. Because Tony Pollard, day one, like Monday, you were getting him at pick like 26, 28. He started with an ADP of like 24. So I think you're sort of giving up a first round pick by doing that, in my opinion. So I don't love that. Alvin Kamara and Brees Hall. I like that pairing. I also just like, instead of taking the next best available running back, just skipping over a couple and maybe just going like Barkley, Brees Hall, where you have, sure, like ETN, you have Alvin Kamara in that mix, you have Mostert. You just reach they're in the same tier, but you're getting a different pairing that no one else is doing because people like to draft off the list. Charles says, I can't get a top 6 draft spot in the dog bowl. The top wide receiver CMC goes off. Yeah, I hear you with that. All right. We'll bring in Barkley. Barkley just seems locked for 20 touches. Just seems like he's a lock for 20 touches. To be able to get him in the second round. The thing is, it's very deep at RB. Like Pacheco is probably slated for at least 15. JT's here. Swift is here. I'm not convinced I would do like a Swift AJ Brown, although it's not completely out of the question. He has been not getting there in the end zone because they're doing the tush push. They're doing the tush push from the 1.5 yard line, like with Jalen Hurts. So Swift is going to have a blow up game soon. See what comes back to us. Tua goes off pretty early. This must be to the Hill team. Jordan Addison. The other thing is, like, with the Tyreek Hill Q tag, you were also seeing Tua fall. Pretty sure I got Tua in the 4th round yesterday, like middle of the 4th round. And I just went naked Tua, which is fine. Yeah. See, I think this is smart. Kamara and Pollard. Exactly. Just going up, same tier, but just not following ADP, I think is super smart. You're going to get different that way. Different combinations. And then that really leverages, if those are the 2 pieces you need, like leverage the field in a big way. See if Waddle comes back to us. K-Walk gone. Pick 44. Okay. Kittle gone. Let's go Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle's going to have a blow-up game. It's kind of like just drafting Mike Evans every week, right? Like, it's going to happen. You're going to be right if you just keep doing it. No, I think this is a good spot for Waddle, though, against New England, banged up secondary. Hill, if he gets re-injured, like, that's something you have to think about. If he tweaks his hip in the middle of the game, you're gonna wish you had more Waddle shares, especially if it happens early. So, definitely not a player I'm avoiding. I wouldn't fade Waddle this week, although he's caused probably so much hurt in redraft and in DFS. But, I think it is a mistake to just fully fade him. Let me fix those rankings real quick. I don't like how far down we have Ingram. Oh, this is because I made it for Battle Royale. That's why. Okay. Should be a little better. Nope. I don't know if it refreshes. Okay. There we go. Above Schultz. Could probably put him in front of Waller too, but we'll keep him there for now. Up in 6 picks. Tony Pollard, Puka, Trevor Lawrence, Calvin Ridley, Alvin Kamara, Brees Hall, Christian Watson, George Pickens, ETN, Mark Andrews, Nico Collins. I like this start by Crash. Yeah, Nico's. I love Nico this week. He brings in Stroud. Definitely a fun start. Zach, welcome to the live stream. Says, I have a feeling Tyreek is going to be more of a decoy this week. Possible. I did show tweet went out from one of the beat reporters from Miami that was at the practice, said he didn't look like he was limited at all in practice, but with someone that moves that fast, cuts that quick, he could easily tweak something mid-game. Not that I'm saying I want that to happen, but it's possible. Burrow goes. The predicament. We're not ending up with 2 Giants on this team. Let's bring in Ingram here. Sort of figure out what we want to do. Like there's no way. There's no way we go Howell, Terry McLaurin. This could be a Russ Sutton team. This could be a Russ Judy team. Derek Carr and Shaheed might do something crazy. If we bring in Pitts there, we could mix in Ritter, but also like after Schultz, after Pitts, there's definitely a drop off at tight end this week. And 1, 2, 3, 4 teams still need a tight end. So I do like getting one of those top like 7 guys. We need a flex. This might just be an uncorrelated. Is Watson still there? Oh, we found the out. Only one team to my right needs a QB. No Green Bay pieces. Doesn't mean he can't go Dobbs. Both of these teams need receivers too. Alan Terry's crazy. This might be it. Honestly, if I get sniped, like this could be the team. Let's see. How did he must have performed pretty well against Philly. If that game went into OT, 290 yards, a titty, 40 yards on the ground. Like that's a pretty good fantasy day for him. But we're getting C-Watt in the 5th round. It's just like, how do you not? Like, how do you not against Minnesota? Just seems like an upside play. Obviously, it can burn you, but boom bust is exactly what you need. You need the boom side to spike into the top 3 on a tournament that's 5,200 deep. So I'm okay with being overweight on players that have high ceilings. That's if it doesn't work out, like, that's fine. Opportunity and ceiling is basically what I look for. Now, obviously, we want it to be a love squad, but if it's not, I think the next pick's Russ. I think the next pick's Russ. Just based on, like, rushing, right? And no, we don't have any Denver pieces, but you're hoping maybe he gets a rushing touchdown and then spreads the ball. Let's see, Big Cheese. Does he go Kenny Pickett? Can even go Carr. Honestly, with Kamara, you can go Carr. Let's bring up another draft just to get into the lobby. +8. Nice. So we'll jump into a battle royale probably after this one, just to keep it moving. Charles says Deontay and Pickett. I love that. I love that. Now, I'm not huge on Pickett, especially I just don't think he has a great ceiling. What's he have? One game with 2 touchdowns this year. It's not amazing, but yeah, and Pat Freiermuth that is out too, so it's another knock for me on oh, all right. It works. So we do get to bring in the Love Watson combo in round 5 and 6. I love that. Sure, we wish we had a Minnesota piece to go with it, but this is a fire squad. This team turned out okay. Deontay Johnson definitely goes too late in these. Judy goes undrafted. Ooh, Tyler Lockett. I gotta check his practice today for Thursday. And Shaheed. I think Shaheed's super sneaky. He needs to catch 2, 3 balls to pop into the flex. Obviously, one of them has to go for a touchdown. But against Indy secondary, like, pretty good game. I think we definitely have to make a Derek Carr team or 2. But I think really, like, if you're only doing 10 of these for the promo, you really should focus on those stacks that you want to go all in on. Like, once you do more than 10, get into the 20 range, now you want to really mix up the portfolio so you're not missing any pieces, and you want to get those guys that don't go drafted, like Derek Carr. And you want to stack Olave. Maybe you want to do a bring back with JT or Pittman if you're feeling spicy. Pick 5. Charles sneaks in the 1 spot, steals the influencer directly from my soul. Put it to good use, sir. Put it to good use. What about Tank Dell? Tank Dell's in play. I view Tank Dell more as like a floor player, but he has shown a ceiling game. He can break a long play for a touchdown. Definitely in play. He's definitely in play. And those are like those small leverage plays, right? Like you bring in Take Dell, 1/12 of the drafters are drafting Nico Collins. It's just a small leverage play on the wide receiver 1 on that offense. Same thing with Waddle. When we went Waddle last draft, it's also a leverage play off Hill. So I think little things like that are important to think about as well. If you're going Swift, you're not you probably shouldn't have Jalen Hurts. I won't say you should not. Sometimes it's good to onslaught games that you think are going to be high scoring. Example, Miami in whatever their first 6 games of the year. A lot of those teams had Tua, Mostert, Hill. You put up enough points, there's enough points to go around sometimes. Mostert, Achan. Non-conventional, but, high-scoring offenses, again, it can get there. Just wanna make sure there's enough points to go around. Waiting on 7 people for the dog bowl, if you wanna jump into that with us as well. We get pick 5 here. It really does feel good to pick at pick 6, and getting 2 of these elite wide receivers just feels kinda dumb. Feels dumb strong, because then it's super deep at running back, it's super deep at tight end. The fact you can get Evan Ingram for free. I'm gonna try pushing Jalen Hurts to 17. I don't know if it's gonna work, but that's gonna be the idea. Yeah, let's do this start. Let's do this start. If by chance, small chance, Jalen Hurts does return to us, I think it'd be really cool with Mark Andrews. And if he doesn't, we have a plan. These BRs are so fun because every team you create, you're like, this is a super team. Like, this is a super team. The slate is just, it's ridiculous. 24% full. I do want to say that is behind. Kamara off the board. Does one of these teams? No, none of them have a QB yet. So like if Lamar's on this side or if Mahomes is on this side, obviously raises your chances a little bit. So I'm not expecting it, but 5 people left for the dog bowl. This is 22% full as well. Let's check out some of the other contests. Because last week we were able to find a little bit of overlay with which contest was it? 2-minute drill, I believe. A little bit of overlay. The thing filled very quickly at the end. It was 17,000 entrants though, whatever the afternoon games was. It was definitely the 2-minute drill. Victory formation. Maybe we can jump into this. It's a single entry battle royale tournament with 564 entrants, 1,000 up top to first. I think we do that after this BR. Hertz is still there. Oh, we spoke him into an existence. We spoke him into existence. And poof, our dreams were crushed. And Charles takes Breece Hall. Smart. Super smart. Get rid of the tight ends. Now it's like, who do we want the QB to be on this team? So Ari's sort of thinking about that. He already has his QB. Let's go Waddle here. Let's bring in Tua. I should be able to. Nah. Where's the Hill team? Hill already has Jalen Hurts. I don't want to risk it. We're just gonna grab Tua here. Where usually I would risk it on the live streams when people know what I want to do. I basically have to just go get my guy, and that's fine. There's plenty of depth. I'm not too worried about. Not too worried about it. We can go bring back like Stevenson. We can go bring back like Kendrick Bourne. Get a little funky with it. If you guys haven't ever already, go down, smash the like, hit the sub if you play fantasy football and DFS. We're going to be drafting all season long. Devonta Smith off the board at 22 with Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I like what he's doing here. I approve. Raheem Mostert, limited in practice Thursday. Claps to you if you've been drafting a fallen Raheem Mostert. We have a lot of Raheem Mostert, so I'm glad to see he practiced. Let's peek the exposures real quick. 22%. Not super overweight, but definitely up there because that actually counts battle royale. That counts dog bowls. 25% in battle royale. Ooh, Deontay Johnson hamstring doesn't practice Thursday. Could be a maintenance day. Let's peek his snap counts last week. He played about 66%. So if he didn't tweak anything, which he may have if he's resting on Thursday, you would expect this to go up and Allen Robinson's to go down. But wow, do we just get we get a free Saquon Barkley here? That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. Stupid amount of depth on this slate. Still 5 drafters for the Battle Royale. Or I'm sorry, for the Dog Bowl. You could honestly make a case for any of these players. You can make a case for any of these players. New England, you could trick me into a little bring back. Let's take Ayuk off the board. I like the idea of going Hunt here. We're gonna go Pacheco though. Let's leverage some of those Mahomes teams. Let's say they get into the end zone on the ground twice. I need to target more Pacheco for my exposures for sure. Yeah, definitely. I have a lot of Hunt. He's just like my go-to right now. Rashawn Johnson clears concussion protocol Thursday, expects to play week 8. My best ball portfolio appreciates that very much. Now, did Donta Foreman did he earn a role in that offense? Most likely. Most likely, yes. So I don't think you're gonna see a large majority go one way or the other. You might see something like a 60-40, but I think it's gonna be relatively close. Charles says he gets sniped on Stroud. You still have Kirk there, though. Who did you go? I hate how it doesn't show you the last pick in the draft. I don't know how they haven't fixed that yet. Who'd you end up drafting, Charles? Oh, I mean, you can go naked T-Law too, but it's obviously 2 more drafters for the Dog Bowl. Two more drafters. This should fill quick. You went Howell? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Post it. Yeah, I was gonna say, post that shit in the Discord. You liar. you liar. Let me actually get the Discord out for everyone. Join the sweat with us off stream with 200 plus pounders drafting together. It's a really, really cool community for when we're off stream. Just super active. All channels. We just added an NBA channel for the NBA sickos. Not me. I can only be decent at one sport. I don't know how people multi-sport. Animals. If you weren't watching Nick and I's sweat last week, we were in 4th and 5th place for, man, it was the 4th quarter of the second set of games, 4 p.m. if you're Eastern time. And at one point we were in 3rd, and then Stafford didn't score a single point for 45 minutes. The whole 4th quarter, he didn't score a single point. I don't think he had a completion. We fall down to 5th, and 3rd place had Mahomes, Pacheco. We had Kelsey. They had Kelsey too. We had Kelsey, Palmer, and Stafford. Stafford times out. Crazy. Pickett didn't look like he got the first down. That game ends. And then there's 3.5 minutes left. And the only player that can help us in the Chargers Casey game was Joshua Palmer. Down 5.5 points because Mahomes had just thrown a touchdown to Pacheco. Like an absolute dagger that sends us into 5th place, down 5.5. It's 4th and 14 for the Chargers And basically, if they don't get this, KC just runs out the clock. And he throws a 17-yard dagger to keep the drive alive to Palmer. And then a few plays later, like another 23, 24-yard catch from Palmer, catch and run to put us in third place by 0.24. And then you still had the Sutton teams right below Nick in the 4 spot, down 0.24. It's third down. It's 3rd and 5, and they're trying to ice the game. Denver. And they run the ball. Absolute miracle. They run the ball. And then you're just like praying for no stat corrections. Like it is crazy. The margins are so slim. Lee's in this one. Lee's got a ticket. Fully loaded. We're seeing more of fully loaded in these. EDN3s in every single one. Crash Rich the same. Hockey Hooligan and Deezy. D's and the Big Cheese. Okay, so we're getting a lot of the same drafters. This name looks familiar. I'm not sure if they have a ticket or not yet. We get pick 5. Honestly, the worst. What feels the worst is around pick 8, pick 9. But there's a lot you can do. There really is. Like 8 and 9 feel kind of gross. I like to target Lamar, ETN, basically those two in that range. And then at 12, I think there's a lot more you can do that's more enticing, especially if you've kept up with ADPs, like where they started. You sort of know what is less owned, what's different. So like being able to maybe go like Breece Hall and Kamara, instead of going next best available. Mostert's ADP starts super high too. If anyone remembers Mostert's ADP, throw it in the chat. But he's at 22 now, and this is going to rise again. Once they find out that he practiced, it's going to rise again. I don't think I have a ton of Chase shares, to be honest. Let's take a quick peek here. Let's take a quick gander. Yeah, we're going Chase. It's going to be my first share for Dog Bowl. ER7 with the wrench. Welcome to the live stream. Archie, what's going on, my friend? I'm going to get our first Jamar Chase share in the Dog Bowl. Let's check Cup too. Cup, I want to say. Cup, we have 1 share. Now, if I had unlimited money, sure, I would do 40, I would do 50 of these every week, but probably stopping around 20. It does turn it into basically like a $10 draft if you factor in the top 2,000 get their money back. Mahomes, Lamar. No, I don't do NBA, but I did create an NBA channel in our Discord, and it's already people are loving it. Sickos, true sickos. I don't do NBA. I told everyone I can only be half decent at one sport. EDN3 at 12. I think they just got the 12 spot too. So let's see if he mixes it up or if, yeah, he already, last time he went what? He went RB plus Puka. Pollard. I think he went Pollard Puka the last draft. Which is weird because, yeah, Pollard's ADP started at 24. I do like getting that first receiver though, especially with Just think there's a cliff. So getting that number one elite receiver that can put up 30 points feels good. And of course, he puts up 30 points when I need a flat scoring week when we were in first place for Battle Royale for all of 8 minutes. That second half was brutal. Please insert the world's smallest violin. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Come on, Big Cheese. Yes. See what? Fully practices again on Thursday. How's this man going in the 5th round in dog bowls? Wow. Mostert's got to rise, so we may as well take him here. Also, a nice little leverage play on the hill teams. But obviously, Miami can put up huge points, especially on New England. We'll see. We'll see. The Pats do play the interconference teams tough. But Miami's always had their number for whatever reason, even when Brady was there. So all those years of pain the Pats have caused that conference, those teams want to pack it on. So Raheem Mostert, Jamar Chase. Fun start. I do want to make this a Burrow team, so maybe we bring in Ayuk or Kittle here for a bring back. Just starting to think a little bit ahead. And if not, if those two go, probably go Nico or Swift. Like Sam Darnold should be fine for Ayuk and Kittle. Is anyone worried in the chat about Sam Darnold? Because honestly, I don't think it's going to be that huge of a downgrade in this offense from Purdy. Sure, it'll be a downgrade, but I don't think it's going to be huge. And then you have Debo who's out, so it makes the offense a little more condensed. Especially when we talk about tight ends. Like Kittle can really break for long plays, so it's really between these two. I want one of these two. Kittle would be nice. Kittle's ADP is 29. So basically right on ADP. That's fine. Okay. He comes back. We get our wish. Can't complain about that. Chalky based off ADP, but there are easy ways to mix it up. Swift goes directly after. ER7 thinks Patriots upset Miami. No, don't do this to me, man. Don't do this to me. I don't want to pick in the middle of the first round. Hockey Hooligan, welcome to the Discord, my man. Let's go. If you guys check the Pick'em channel, we mistakenly bet $100 on a 3-pick Pick'em instead of 10. Of course it hits. Just sick like that. Up in 9 picks, Devonta Smith off, Flowers off to, I'm assuming, the Lamar team. Makes sense. Zay's someone that I'm really not touching unless I have Lamar. Crash Rich going naked Tua right now, probably bringing in Waddle's gone. Waddle's long gone. Just going naked Tua, which I think is fine. Especially in these, like Tua, in my opinion, has a much higher ceiling than Trevor Lawrence. Ooh, wow. An early pick on Dak. Definitely. EDN3 definitely could have pushed Dak to the next round. Especially having CeeDee Lamb. Like, who else? Like, are you worried about the Pollard team? I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. He brings in an elite tight end. You see a lot more of these like uncorrelated rosters. And when we think about like weekly winners, 200 and what, 269,000 teams. We've seen a naked Russ. What was the other one? There's another naked pocket passing QB that won weekly winners. I'm gonna have to find it now. It's gonna bother me. Was it Carr? For some reason I think it's Carr. Oh baby. The stars are aligning. No team has a QB to my left. No team has a QB to my left. Just something to think about. Oh! Oh! Oh, why? Do they have Higgins? All right. We go T-Law here for. I think we just go T-Law here first. Oh my God. I think we go T-Law first and we try to bring in Calvin next. That was that. I'm going to remember that. Oh man. The naked like reaches up in a tough matchup. Like San Fran's like Burrow could be under siege to not have the pass catchers. And Higgins goes like fully deserved. Fully deserved. Oh, this fully loaded. If I had this guy's Venmo, I would pay for his draft. Like, and then I get this, which is fully deserved too. But want to what? Like, is Zay Jones practicing? Fuck. Is Ingram there? Year of the double tight end. All right, we're going naked T-Law, and just great. just so psyched about this draft right now. Smooth Criminal says, hate to see it. Like at least Trevor Lawrence like rushes, right? Now we've seen ETN get into the end zone twice, each of the last 3 games. So T-Law's performances have really been mediocre. I think we can do at least a bring back in this game, though. We automatically get Deontay Johnson if we want him. D. I think it is. Fuck. I gotta side with ceiling, my friends. I gotta side with the ceiling play. Didn't practice Thursday. I think he'll fall. Should be able to get him into the. Should be able to push him into the last round this week. Yeah. Charles, I like that idea. I like that idea very much. Punish that man. Punish that man. Oh God. I love how it like wasn't the best available QB too. That pains me a little extra. I still like this team. Like, I don't care. I still like this team. Remember, Nick spiked into the top 3 with naked Stafford. And if he went naked Gino, would have lost by 0.04. What? Like just crazy. Just crazy. Stroud's actually there super late in this draft. Stroud's going to go in the last round to Liam, it looks like. Not thrilled about the Aaron Jones news. and it's not up on here, which is kind of surprising. So Aaron Jones either getting a veterans rest day or we don't know if it's a retweak, but it looks like they're going to try to ramp him up in this game. I don't think you're going to see that 70% plus touches for Aaron Jones, though. AJ Dillon, I believe, still going to be involved. So much pain. That pick irks me. Born for the bring back is gone. Um, honestly, we can't go. What do we think? Malik with DeAndre Hopkins stacks is what you need. Okay, Curtis Samuel practices Thursday. Like, I'm surprised Curtis Samuel doesn't have an ADP. Dawson Knox wrist officially placed on IR, will miss at least 4 games. And we all knew that was the way Kincaid was going to hit. If we go Zay Jones too, this team already has a flex. This team. So like, if we go Zay Jones, we basically get a free pick swap. But it doesn't look like he's going to play. Like, no practice all week. If he had a limited today, I would definitely go Zay Jones here. Yeah, I don't love that. Getting 66% of snaps. Let's just do something freaking crazy. Let's just go Shaheed here. Let's just go Shaheed. We already have naked Trevor Lawrence. Like, let's hit on a drop down player. Let's hit on a drop down player against Indy. Maybe, just maybe, Chris Olave gets spanked by the coaches. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I do like Shaheed. Like, I think you definitely can mix him in at the end here. Obviously, he's not going to be as consistent as some of these other guys, but he still is a ceiling play. He still is a ceiling play. I like Sutton versus KC, but I have a ton of him, and he goes drafted in what 90% of drafts or better. So I think that's a fun way to end that one. A little bit of spice, a little bit of spice would just drop right onto that draft, guys. I appreciate everyone coming out, watching me get sniped on Joe Burrow. I hope that person gets sniped later today, like every single time. Guys, have a good night. Enjoy Thursday Night Football. I'll catch you on the next one. Smack the like on the way out if you enjoyed tonight's stream and drop us up. Pounders.